Well, it's funny because if you go back and watch the end of my Arankar arc review, I pretty much stated how it felt like this was going in the trend of the Soul Society arc. And boy, was I wrong about that because this arc was really damn good. At the same time, it was very much different, even though it had some elements of the Soul Society arc pretty much in it. And man, what an emotional roller coaster of a ride that is the Hueco Mundo arc. So, after coming off the new Captain Shusuke Amagi or Amagai, oh yeah, Amagi arc, I'm here to review the canon again, and that is the Hueco Mundo arc. Now, again, just to point out some background information, why did you review the new Captain Amagai arc first before you reviewed the Hueco Mundo arc? And I'm sorry I did this to you for that week. And I know you were looking forward to get my thoughts on Hueco Mundo, which you're getting in this video. But because it was smack dab in the middle of this arc, I'm like, you know what? Let me just get this filler arc out the way. Let me just get this filler arc out the way. If you want to get my thoughts on the Amagi arc, go check that video out. I'll leave it at the end of the video. But anyways, last time where we left off in terms of canon material, in terms of what I reviewed, is it was Oriheme being captured by Aizen's men, and pretty much Ichigo and company going off to go save her. And that's kind of what happened. So again, I made the little bit ending part where Ichigo, Uryu, and Chad, they all go on to go rescue um they go on to go rescue Orihime. So one of the first things we see is we pretty much meet the council of all the Espadas and everything, and some of the designs for these Espadas just look flat out really damn good, and pretty much it's just Aizen just letting them know, like, yeah, we have intruders, but it's gonna be nothing special. We'll just put them through these trials and their effort to try to save Orihime and stuff like that. So yes, and that's when we kind of get introduced. After the first, little small fights where we have it to where Uryu and Chad, they actually show off their pretty much how much stronger they've gotten. So it doesn't worry Ichigo as much. That's when we kind of get to the like main area of Hueco Mundo, and it's pretty much just a dark landscape, and they see this palace and everything, and they go follow towards this palace, and then we get the introduction of Nael or Nail. I'm gonna call her Nael because it's better for me to remember. But this arc, she was great. She's one of my favorite characters of Bleach so far, and I really do like what she brings to the show or to the series. Nael is a very colorful character. Now, she's a little now the one thing is she's also this like little girl, and we also see she has two companions alongside her named Peche and Don Dachoka. Um um and they're just very funny cast members. Later on, Peche and Uryu, they have like they're pretty much wrapped together, and my goodness, it was absolutely hilarious with their comedic dialogue that was happening between them and everything. And that was just flat out amazing, stuff right there. I was cracking my ass off every time he called Uryu Ichigo. Funny stuff, man. Hilarious, funny stuff. But another cool thing we get to pretty much meet or see here is, well, Rukia and Renji show up. And I figured that they would show up because, well, they're companions to Ichigo, and why wouldn't they? And I really did like the dialogue scene between Rukia and Ichigo, the fact where Rukia's like, why didn't you not just wait for us? You know we're your friends. We were gonna come with you regardless of what Headmaster Yamamoto pretty much said. Um and everything. And man, it was just it was this was just awesome, shocking. They fight this one Menos Grande looking character, but it then takes him down to like this hollow forest and everything, where Rukia ends up running into a Soul Reaper that actually, you know, followed these hollows to the pretty much this hollow forest. Pretty much all his men died, and he pretty much sacrificed himself to get them to have them get up out of there. And then pretty much the thing is, we get this is when we get to the palace doors and everything. And this is when the group pretty much splits up. Now the thing is, Ichigo is going on of his own, but we see how Nael ends up following with him and staying with him throughout the entire journey. Each of the other individuals go their own separate ways to have their own separate fights. Now, um, I'll be like now, the human characters, Ichigo, Uryu, and Chad, well, mostly it's Ichigo and Uryu. They pretty much and Chad too, they pretty much go up against these certain espadas, called, as I'm pulling up the pulling it up on my phone, the Prevarion Espada, which are pretty much Espada that were replaced by the current seat of Espada. For pretty much, whatever reason, because the new Espada were stronger than they are. So we give one of the so Ichigo's fight is against Dordani, and this was actually a very fairly interesting fight and everything. Just from the standpoint, this guy was pretty much bringing the best out of Ichigo, and stuff like that. To the point, it was kind of a whole thing of, just being men and fighting and stuff like that. And there was like some very interesting things to where it's like, we have it to where Dordani, he tries to attack Nael most of the time, but Ichigo obviously protects her. We even see Ichigo don his hollow mask in this fight. That's how much this guy brings him to continue to fight with his full power, stuff like that. We also get an interesting story point that's later expanded on for Nael, is the fact that, he fires off this he fires off Dordani fires off an attack that was similar to how Grimjow fired off his attack at Ichigo, that red beam attack, pretty much. And we have it to where Nael freaking just sucks it up, eats it, and then just fires it right back. And I'm like, what the hell, man? This girl is crazy freaking strong. Like, what is going on here? I'm like, there's some secrets going on here that they ain't telling us. And stuff like that. And yeah, that's a crazy thing. Now, Ichigo ends up defeating him, and then after he's defeated, pretty much we see like this like, I guess you could say, this hit squad sent out, and we pretty much see them going on continually after every fight is pretty much done. They're pretty much the guys that finish off whatever happens. So if a character lived, well, they're there to kill him. And we see how they pretty much, I'm guessing, killed Dordani and stuff like that. Now the next fight that takes place is Uryu versus Saruchi. Nothing much happens in this fight. You get a kind of a teamwork between Peche and Uryu trying to go up against this very attractive looking girl. And stuff like that. And it was just kind of it. Same thing happens, easily loses and stuff like that. Chad has his fight with a Privano Espada, pretty much, and he wins, but after he wins, he's confronted by that same hit squad, or he's confronted at first by Nigatora, and easily gets defeated, which presumably everybody senses that his spiritual pressure, and pretty much everybody figures that something ultimately bad happened to Chad. And that's also what Orihime is feeling. So speaking of the Orihime thing, so Orihime is pretty much the princess locked in this cell and everything. The thing is, Aizen has it to where he has it where Ulquiorra is pretty much the person looking after, and Ulquiorra pretty much kind of in a way antagonizes Orihime and stuff by saying like, yes, your friends are here and stuff like that. Just here to try to save you, but it doesn't matter. They're all going to die. and you'll just be used for Lord Aizen's purposes. And I loved how Orihime stood up to this person. Because there was a part where it's like, listen, you're going to be eating and we want you to stay healthy. And then he mocks her and mocks their friends, saying that they won't make it and everything. And I love how she stood up for herself by slapping the dude and saying, no, my friends will save me and they will not die and everything. But Okiora, he, in a typical shonen sense, you would think he would beat up the girl. But no, he doesn't. He's like, well, okay, fine. If you fail to fricking not eat, then I will come back within an hour and I will shove that food right down your damn throat. Yeah, Orihime, this fricking arc, man, she was traumatized. Like, that's how much what Aizen did. Like, it even traumatized her even more, the fact that Aizen called her and said, I trust you so much that here I'm going to show you the Hyoko Q. And stuff like that. And pretty much this whole traumatization of, you will be working, you will be you Aizen is using you, using your body and his soul for his purpose and everything, and you will understand that. Like, that's what Ukiora pretty much makes a mention and says. At first I thought it's like, oh, a whole sort of trance where she was like forced to listen to this guy, because there was a point when I was watching, like they show the dead eyes, like she's under like the control, like especially based on the clothes she's wearing and everything. It's like, wait, is this the clothes she's wearing makes her like under Aizen's control to where she's just gonna do her control willy-nilly? But no, she has full understanding, full control of her own actions and stuff like that. And another big important moment I liked is how she was thinking of this all over, and she's like, no, I have to do something about the Hyogokyu, and I want to destroy it on my own accord so I can stop this madness that this guy is doing. Again, I love how the fact that even though she is the damsel in distress, for this, she still is thinking about, she still has these ways of wanting to stand up for herself, and she's willing to take on this burden and stuff like that. I really did like Orihime in this arc, and some of the moments she has in this arc, but mostly the Ichigo stuff, which I'll talk about in the Ichigo versus Grimjow fight. It just freaking touched me, and stuff like that. And ultimately, I really felt bad, and I wanted these guys to save her so damn bad. At the same time, I wanted Ichigo to save his girl, and which is another thing that I will speak in the fight. I'm like, if this arc didn't solidify that it's Ichigo X, I almost said Rukia, Ichigo X Orihime, this arc proves flat out alone. Arc strictly proves that this is Ichigo X Orihime, bro. This man is a man on a mission to save his friend. Yes, his friend, somebody he cares deeply about. Where you know how much Orihime feels about Ichigo, the fact that she pretty much loves him, or she's pretty much in love with the guy. But I really did like this whole thing. Like I said, Orihime was a damsel in distress character, but it didn't feel like she ultimately was truly a damsel in distress character. She tried to do things on her own accord. It's just the character strengths were just way out of her level. Like, I remember the part when Ichigo's, fighting, trying, like when Ichigo's fighting Nigatora's Nigatoro's man, pretty much lieutenant. She tries to do something to help, but the dude's like, you don't even try. Or no, it was Ichigo when he was fighting Nigatoro, and his lieutenant's telling Orihime, you can't do shit, don't even try, because I will break your little thing, your power, pretty much, and stuff like that. So yeah, that was some crazy stuff. But going on to other fights, we have it to where it ends up becoming a fight over time. We get it to where Renji fights um um Celia Poro. It's the weird scientist guy. I'm just gonna call him Grants because it's better and easier to pronounce than the first name. But yeah, this fight kind of is an evolution of stages. Like, at first it's Renji versus Grants, then it becomes Renji and Uryu versus Grants, which then by the time we get to the the climax, it gets to more Mayori versus Grants. which I can't wait to talk about that fight and stuff like that. But this fight, it was just interesting from the fact that this guy was just like a guy that just kept coming back, and he just found unique ways with his crazy scientist self to find everything. And he pretty much had a counter to everything Uryu or Renji did. Like, for the moment Renji fights this guy, he counters his Bankai and just absolutely just destroys him, deforms him out of his Bankai form. And I'm just like, okay, this mother effer's a problem. And two, he's also a Spada. He's in a Spada. I forgot what ranking he was, but he was definitely he was in the top 10, but like this guy was a legit problem. And he, it didn't matter what Uryu and Renji did. They got trouble, and every time it looked like they got him, Nope, he just kept coming back, and everything. And even when he showed like off his release form and everything, which I forgot to mention in my Aranka arc review, which I'll touch in a second. His release form, he was still strong, and the whole fact that he could pretty much swallow up our characters and make pretty much a voodoo doll and legitimately like break their organs and their bones. Insane. Now, my one critique and my one little slight nitpick is when he was doing that to Renji and freaking especially Uryu. Like, I think he burst open like Uryu's stomach and just broke it entirely and made him lose it. And I'm like, wait. I'm like, I don't know if I looked this up. I probably should have looked this up before the video, but I'm like, I don't think you can live without a stomach. And if anything, if your stomach just explodes, the hydrochloric acid would just explode all over your body, thus killing your body, thus disintegrating it. So it's a nitpick. Uryu in reality should have died the moment he got his stomach blown apart, because there is no way he should have been like, even Renji questioned like, bro, how are you still fucking alive, dude? Like even I'm like, wait, Uryu should be dead. There's no way if you lose your like if you lose your stomach and it just gets blown up within your body, all that hydrochloric acid would damage your other organs in your body. You'd be dead. It's anime logic. Whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's because his philosophy is also the fact that he's a Quincy too. That could be a reason why, but it was still something like, I'm like, he should be dead, but it's anime logic. Okay, you gotta. It was a little exaggerated how Renji and Uryu didn't die. Like, legitimately, they should have died. Like, if we're saying the Bleach was a real life thing, a human would have died by his stomach exploding. And I don't even think you can live without your stomach. I don't know about that. Maybe you can live without your stomach. I don't know. I have to do my own research and look into that at my own time. And stuff like that. But yes, that was just an insane thing. I'll talk about the Mayuri versus Grants fight later on. And we also see how Don DeChaka and Peche, they get involved in the fight, but even then they still can't do anything to stop Grans. Another really good fight that actually had my intrigue for like a good majority of this fight was Rukia versus Aaron Yarrow. And pretty much Aaron Yarrow is this Espada that pretty much used pretty much the illusion of being Rukia's former mentor, Karin Karin Shiba, which we know is Ganjo and Kakaru's older brother and everything. And this fight was just emotional from the standpoint, at first I'm like, wait, he would like when he buys and when he is first shows up and he's like, oh yeah, this is what happened, that's how I'm still alive, and everything. And I'm like, there's got to be a catch, man. There's got to be a catch. And then, you have it to where this dude's making these demands like, well, now I'm here to kill you to get revenge and make my soul feel at peace for what you did to me. And Rukia was actually fine with that. And he's like, no. Actually, if you give me the heads of your friends, then hey, that'll be good. But then that's when Rukia puts two and two together and feels like, no, you're a fake, because Shiba would never tell me that to do something and harm my friends and stuff like that. And we find out that pretty much it's this freaking like crazy skeleton thing that's just messing with her mind when it's shown out in the public. And it gets to the point, and this fight is just, Rukia fighting the inner turmoil of herself in terms of going against her former master, her former mentor, and everything. And this was just a freaking crazy emotional fight to the point she almost dies and everything, but she knows that she has to continue to fight on for Orihime's sake to save Orihime, and everything. And I loved how even though she was pretty much, crawling to pass out, I loved how they did the callback to the Soul Society arc where she pretty much, you know, reminisces her time pretty much being locked up, and being the damsel in distress at the time. And she knows like what Orihime's going through, the stresses and the feeling, and the pain and the suffering, she must be going through, and everything. Because that's what, the same, in a way, the same feelings Orihime's feeling is the same way Rukia felt. They don't want their friend's blood to be splattered because they're coming to try to save them. I mean everything, and they take it on as if it's their fault and everything, but in reality, it isn't their fault. Like I loved how Rukia was like, "Orihime, I will come save you. I know what you're feeling right now. You feel like you're all alone, like there's nothing you can do, but I will come to save you." And I really did love that. It's another reason why I also love Rukia coming, because she, like I said, she's been in this position. She knows what it's like to be the one, alone, the one that is pretty much captured and forced to do something against her own will, and there's nothing she can really ultimately do about it, and stuff like that. The next fight, which is like Ichigo getting smacked, leads to freaking Ichigo going against Ulquiorra. Now, this fight doesn't get started like, it takes Ulquiorra pretty much freaking goading Ichigo by saying, "Oh, I was the one that brought Orihime Inouye over here to Hueco Mundo." And when I tell you, Ichigo got pissed. This man got so pissed. He was like, "I fucking knew it." She was brought here against her own will and everything, and he's just like, "Oh, so now you want to fight and everything." I'm just like, damn, this is getting crazy and everything. This man uses his freaking hollow mask against Ulquiorra, and it actually catches him off guard for a bit, but he is not ultimately damaged badly. And we find out he's the fourth ranking. He's the fourth ranking Espada, which goes to show you how strong this dude is. And pretty much the thing is, he's like, "Oh, that's the best you got? Well then, well, you're going to die now." And that's pretty much what he does. Ichigo tries his best to get away, and at the same time also as well save Nael, but it's already too late. To the point, it's like we have a moment where he gets impaled, and Ichigo's pretty much on the verge of death and everything. At the which it was just craziness. I'm just like, Ulquiorra is a fucking problem, man. He is a problem. How are they going to defeat this? How is Ichigo going to defeat this guy? And everything. But I was definitely waiting for this build up, and I definitely know after watching this arc, I'm looking even more hyped forward to Ulquiorra versus Ichigo, the rematch. With I know Ichigo going to come out on top this time, but my goodness, this was crazy. Only for the whole fact with Orihime, there was like these two girls, these two Arrancar girls that pretty much bullied Orihime by saying like, "Oh, you think you're the princess and everything." Also, I will say this, I do like Orihime's outfit in this arc. I think it's very I think it's okay, yes, it's very attractive. It gives off again this princess like persona, and stuff like that of her. But again, she gets bullied by these two girls and everything, to the point that Grimjow shows up, pretty much kicks their ass, and pretty much I think kills one of them, um, and stuff like that. Um, all on his effort to bring her to go heal Ichigo so they can have their fight. Because that's the thing he wants. He wants his fight. And the one thing, again, another thing I did like is how Orihime, despite these people treating her so harshly, so rudely, she still healed these two Arankar girls and everything. And even one, the Arankar girl and the black girl, is like, "Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Why are you doing this after what we did to you?" and stuff like that. And it just goes to show you how compassionate she is. The fact that it doesn't matter if your enemy are friend, she's going to do something out of the kindness of her heart. I really did like that. But you have the moment to where she's healing Ichigo, and then Ichigo gets fully healed, but then Ulquiorra finds out about everything that's going on. He shows up, and I'm thinking, oh shit, we're gonna get Ulquiorra versus Grimjow. What the hell is gonna go on? But we find out Grimjow pretty much moves Ulquiorra to this other dimension and keeps him there for like 2 to 3 hours, pretty much. And I'm just like, holy hell, this shit is getting wild, man. And then that's when we get this fight between Grimjow and Ichigo, which, my goodness, this was a great ass fight. I enjoyed this fight from the beginning to the end, and this was the fight I was waiting for and everything. And this fight was kind of centered around the purpose of winning and instinct of fighting and stuff like that. We see Grimjow's release form, which, mind you, which I forgot to make a mention. Release forms for the Espadas or the Arancars pretty much make them look more like a hollow character. And stuff like that. And it's kind of like the original form and everything. And we have it to where, these two are fighting now. We get the backstory to Grimjow, and we find out that, he pretty much evolved through the years, and his whole thing was fighting to get stronger and everything. And we see like that was kind of the thing that fueled him back when he was like pretty much, I guess you would say, what it looked like he was like a lion or a freaking tiger or something like that. And his desire to win is so strong because it's his way of wanting to get stronger and stuff like that. At the same time, you have Ichigo who's doing doing his best to fight back. And you have the question posed that Grimjow poses to Ichigo by saying, like, listen, dude, you didn't just come here to save, your little girlfriend, pretty much. You came here to fight me and everything and defeat me and win and prove that you're the stronger one and everything. And obviously, Ichigo eventually gives into that instinct of wanting to defeat him. But another interesting, story point we have here is pretty much Orihime's reaction to Ichigo's hollow form. Now, when the fight starts, Nael's obviously worried about Ichigo, but Orihime's the one's like, no, it's okay. When Ichigo makes a promise that he's going to win, he's going to be okay and he's going to win, and you just have to believe in him. But we see when he comes across and shows his hollow mask, that starts to falter in her, and she starts to be afraid, and she's like, there's no way that's Ichigo's eyes. Those eyes look just like my brother when he was a hollow and everything. And this was the legitimate part that, I kid you not, man, it got me. I don't care. I don't care. It got me to cry. It got me to shed tears, man. This speech by Nael, bro, hit me so damn hard like a fucking truck. I kid you not. I was crying tears, and I watched this episode like damn near 12 or 1 in the morning because that's how good this arc was. I was binge watching this shit. I was crying and shedding tears, man, by this speech alone. And what's pretty much Nael's like telling Orihime is like, why are you have that look? Why are you shaking? Why are you quivering with fear? Like, is it because Ichigo, is wearing that mask that makes him look like a hollow? Like, and I loved how she's like, listen, it shouldn't matter what mask he's wearing, what the eyes he looks like. It's still Ichigo deep down inside and everything. Like, even though he knows that this is an evil power he's using, he's still using it of his own free will. It's not like he isn't Ichigo anymore. He's the same Ichigo that, knowing the risk, come here to save you, because that's how much he cares about you. He did everything in his power to save you. And I loved how she brought up the freaking part where she was like, when he went up against Ulquiorra mentioned what he did to you, and everything, and Ichigo got super upset about that, and he was fighting, and everything. I love that whole thing. How she's like, "Listen, if I'm cheering Ichigo on, you have to cheer him on too. It will give him the motivation to continue to fight." And that's what she did. And I loved how she started. She cheered him on, and she was like, "Ichigo, just come back to me safely, please. I don't care if you win." I'm like, I don't want you to win. I just want you to come back to me safely and everything. I'm just like, damn it, man. And I'm crying my eyes out. I'm like, this shit ain't be hard, man. I'm like, fuck, that shit was powerful, man. It was powerful. One of my favorite moments of this arc, if not probably, this was definitely one of my favorite. No, it probably was my favorite moment of this fucking arc. I don't give a fuck. I know there was a lot of good shit that happened, and there was a lot of badass and dope ass shit moments that happened in this arc, but that moment where Nael freaking told Orihime, you need to cheer him on to give him that encouragement to continue to fight. That hit me so damn hard. That was my favorite moment. And that's why I said this arc is definitely, again, the save Orihime thing, but this arc is definitely dedicated to Ichigo X Orihime, bro. There were so many Ichigo X Orihime moments in this. This man, Ichigo, was going tooth and nail to save this girl he deeply cares about. And like I said, I have yet to have a girlfriend, but my God, I need somebody that is just as loyal as Orihime is, and loves somebody like Orihime loves Ichigo, bro. Oh my God, man, this so hard to find girls like that nowadays. But that moment touched me so damn hard. It hit me so hard. And when she called out to him, it gave Ichigo the instinct to continue to fight and get beat Grimjoe. And another thing I loved is how you saw the half regular face of Ichigo, but the half hollow mask and everything. It's like that was dope. Now one of the Espadas, I think it was the top three one. The one chick that has her face cover, I forgot her name. But she makes on the mention the fact that this fight between Ichigo and Grimjow, it's like two Espadas fighting, which is actually very fucking interesting when she makes that point out, which goes to show you that this man Ichigo is very damn strong. But we have it to where Ichigo ends up defeating Grimjow and everything, and he has the victory. He goes and you get that triumphant moment where you're like, we can finally get the fudge out of here, go save the others, get Orihime back home safe. And I'm just like, everything's going. And then we got the filler arc, which if you go back to my filler arc review of the new of the Amagami arc, new Captain Amagami arc or Amagai arc, it was a definite tone down setter. Like right now, I know I just finished the Hueco Mundo arc. There's a filler arc, but I guess about the past stuff. I'm just skipping that shit entirely because I need to see what's happening next in this fake Karakura town arc and stuff like that. I'm skipping that. But yeah, that's when the dumb filler comes in the way and it takes. But when you get past it, it gets back to the thing, and we see to where Grimjoe, he's not done fighting. He wants to continue to fight on and on and on, but he then gets jumped by uh ni, ni, yeah good God, this name is so damn hard to say. Ni ni neo ni. My goodness, I'll be back right now for a quick second, guys. Okay, I watched somebody's video of how to pronounce the name. It's Noritora. My gosh. Whatever. Yeah, but that's when Noritora shows up, takes out Grimjow, and that's when he presumably starts his fight with Ichigo. And since Ichigo is pretty much tapped out on fumes, there's nothing this guy can do. And everything. It's getting so damn bad and everything. And then even you have it to where Noritora's lieutenant gets involved, pretty much goes giant and is on the verge of killing Ichigo and everything. And that's when, but mostly before the fight, before that fight even starts, we have a crazy shocking moment of Nael, and she pretty much transforms from a shrimpy little girl to, my God, one of the most attractive looking anime women I have seen in my freaking. Oh God, she was 10 out of 10. Okay, I gotta calm down. But Niall shows off her true human form of what she looked like, and we find out she's also a Privana Espada, and she originally was the number three. She was originally the third strongest Espada at the time, and we have a backstory with Noritora and Niall, just from the standpoint, we have to win Noritoro, Noritora, he never liked Niall. He never did. And it was this whole thing of, Niall always questioning, like, why do you attack these hollows and everything? Like, there is no need, and there are these other Rancor, there's no need to do that. And he's like, oh, please, I don't give a fuck, pretty much, and stuff like that. And we like, and the one thing I do like about the relationship is it seemed like Niall actually deep down cared from Noritoro. Like there was a part in their backstory is that like she said like you're weak and everything. And I'm like, oh, because he has like, why are you following me all the time? And she was pretty much like, it's because you're weak. It's because you're weak. And I'm like, oh, it shows that she wanted to watch over and protect him pretty much and everything because she cared about him deep down. And we see how Niall, she's a different type of a Rancor. She's a more caring, compassionate Rancor that knows what the job must mean to be done, but at the same time, she's very caring and compassionate and stuff like that. And you have the fight, that way, and she is just kicking Noritoro's ass. Like we even see her release form, and it's in the form of a centaur, man. It's freaking crazy. Like that's how strong this girl is, and it's like wow, like she even demonstrates the whole thing of sucking an energy blast in and then just blowing it right back out. And I'm just like, okay, yes, yeah, she's great. She's great. Um, and stuff like that. Also at the same time, her two companions, Peche and Don Donchaka, they actually, remember the past and they're like, that's right, we served Master Nael, and we're here, and that's when they get serious and they actually contribute to the fight and everything. And they kind of had some amnesia, but there's the whole thing of they were there to protect her all the time and stuff like that. But it gets to the point where Nael looks like she's about to win. But obviously in typical shonen trope, typically have a part, and this is definitely common in Dragon Ball. She deforms back to her kid form, and it's pretty much too late. But when it looks like Ichigo was going to be killed, and pretty much everybody looks like they're about to be killed, all of a sudden we have it where the squad captains show up, and this was one of the epic moments in this freaking arc. You have it where Byakuya, he saves Rukia from almost being killed, and he fights this guy called Zomarai. And this whole fight here was pretty much about like pride and everything. Like this guy's special power was by just looking, when he got it to his like his release form, just by looking at you, he can control a certain body part. So because of it, we have it to where Byakuya had to cut pretty much the muscle just to lose control. And I forgot to make a mention, another captain that showed up was Captain Unohana. She was pretty much there to heal and stuff like that. She also in like switch, that was pretty much what she was doing. But going back to the Byakuya fight, this fight was crazy good. And when I'm like, dude, Byakuya, just use your Bankai. And I'm like, when he used his Bankai, bro, and he was like Bankai. Simo Sara, it was some similar something Sakura, and I'm like, oh shit, he unleashes his Bankai. You're fucked. And that's what this guy did. This guy pretty much this guy tried to control his Bankai, all the swords, but he couldn't. And I even got to the point where he was even trying to use Rukia against Byakuya, but Rukia managed to hold her in place and everything, and managed to defeat him. And I love the line he said, and I love the line pretty much how he said, "No, I didn't freaking do this to kill you, just to kill you. I did this because you pretty much tried to hurt something near and dear to me." Which it goes to show how much Byakuya cares about Rukia, and it shows you the difference that Byakuya has or has changed over time, like how much he's changed. And it's like he said back when he first told Rukia at the end of the Soul Society arc. I had to drink that water real quick. That pretty much that's like his last family, like that's his purpose of life pretty much. And I ultimately loved that. So one of the next fights between captains and Spada is Mayuri versus Grants. And man, this fight was crazy. I still remember when I said, dude, I feel like this guy would become a villain, and I do not like this guy at all. Dude, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Mayuri has shot up the list for one of my favorite captains of Bleach, man. This guy is, when he's doing the good thing, this guy was conniving, man. This fight between two insane lunatic scientists was great. And the fact that freaking Mayuri pretty much outsmarted Grants all the damn time, like having fake freaking organs so that trick didn't work on him was absolutely insane. Um, and then at the end of the fight, how we had that whole thing where, okay, he freaking, even though freaking, he pretty much Grants came back to life through a Nemo. He was like, oh yeah, I made a fail safe with Nemo. If you try to come out, you would have this, I guess, superhuman drug kicking in. But the difference is you'll be able to see things at a fast pace. But I made it where actually makes it damn near 100 years for you to feel things and stuff like that. And the fact when he was slowly driving that hand or his sword, his sword through his hand, then to his heart, and he was just saying how, you don't know when you're gonna feel this. It's gonna be 100 years. When you feel this and everything. I'm like, wow, man, wow. And then he ends up winning, and then he ends up, talking about like, how he does not like perfect human beings or perfect beings or perfect living creatures because it's the whole thing of like, well, there's nothing to improve on if you're perfect. You're just a perfect being. When in reality, you can just find ways to continue to improve and get better and everything. And I really did like that statement Mayuri stated and everything. And apparently he brought back Nemo, but the way freaking Renji and Uryu looked at him, it's like, and the way freaking Nemo was apparently moaning, I'm just like, what did he do? I'm like, did this guy literally pipe her and freaking bring her back to life? And it's funny because Renji and freaking Iryu's face was just like it was just flat out blustering, like they were flustered. I'm just like, don't tell me this motherfucker fucking piped her up and brought her back to life, bro. That's some wild ass shit, yo. And it's funny because he's like, well, of course. I don't do things that the TV audience wouldn't see. I'm like, and you break the fourth wall. So good on you, Mayuri. So yeah. Then the last fight is between Nirotoro and Kenpachi. And this fight was just purely about the freaking strength factor, about stuff like that. Niji Toro, he had one of the coolest release forms to the point he had like freaking, he grew arms and stuff like that. And the thing is, Kenpachi, he was holding his own and everything. And it looked like, in some cases, it looked like he was losing. No, he would get the upper hand, he would start winning. But then, Nigatoro countered back. But then Kenpachi kept back. And it was all because, and I think Nijitora made a big mistake of taking off or ripping off or cutting off Kenpachi's eye patch, which pretty much released his power, everything. And but still, even then, Kenpachi was having some trouble and stuff like that. Now, the one interesting thing is we saw is how Yachiro, who was also there, she was not worried one bit. I'm still interested to see how strong is Yachiro. We have not seen how strong Yachiro is, and I'm very intrigued to see how strong is this girl Yachiro, because she's like just standing there like, only like, I knew you'd do it, Kenny, and stuff like that. Yeah, she showed some concern throughout the fight and everything. But she was pretty much like, yeah, it's okay, fine, cool. I'm like, I'm very interested to see how strong is she, and stuff like that. But Kenpachi, he pretty much finds out how to win, just by putting two hands on his sword and just easily defeats Nijitoro, which makes you again question how the hell did Ichigo defeat this guy, bro? All this dude had to do was put two hands on his sword instead of using one hand, and he probably would have, and he could win majority percent of the time. Insanity, just insanity. You get that moment where Nael and Nijitora look at each other, and it's kind of that flashback moment, like I mentioned earlier, and stuff like that. Very, insane stuff. And like I said, the look that Nael gave Nijitora, it definitely did show that no, she does care about the guy, despite what the guy thinks and everything about her, and everything. Like she did care, like she wanted to look after this guy, and stuff like that, which it was really cool. But that's when we get the plot twist, where Aizen has one more trick up his sleeve. He uses one of his spotters, which I believe his name is Stark, to capture Orihime again. I'm just like, she got captured again, because the thing is, Kenpachi is like, listen, you need to take the girl and you can go back home to Karakura town now. You done your job. Let the big boys handle this. But Orihime gets captured. Aizen pretty much says, well, it's nice to see you again, Orihime, but you see, I have no use for you anymore. I'm gonna go to Karakura town and destroy it and kill everybody in it, so I can get the key and pretty much become royalty. But he informs everybody that's in Hueco Mundo about this, and pretty much says, and pretty much devised a plan where he shut off their exit points to go back to the Soul Society. And he was like, well, I cut you guys in half and everything, and now that you know, and and I was like, oh shit, this guy got the upper hand. I'm like, dude, how are they gonna get out of this situation? Also, at the same time, he brought Ulquiorra back from the dimension to watch over freaking Orihime and watch over the dimension and stuff like that, as he's going to Karakura town to destroy it. Now, it looks like all hope is lost and everything. And it's like, dude, are you freaking kidding me? But all of a sudden, that's when Kenpachi is like, you don't need to worry. This is why we planned for this. So we find out at the end of this arc, head captain Yamamoto pretty much set up a a team. He set up a few squad captains to be in Hueco Mundo to pretty much help out in the fight with Ichigo and company. But at the same time, we end the episode, we end the arc off as Aizen's walking out from Hueco Mundo into Karakura town. Head Captain Yamamoto and the other captains are there to confront Aizen and the Arankar and stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh shit, they called it. And Kenpachi's like, yeah, we were prepared for this. We knew something like this would happen. We made sure we were prepared. And Mayuri also explains the fact, because characters bring the fact like, wait, if you guys are these are captain level characters fighting in Karakura town, you're just gonna destroy the landscape anyways. And that's when Mayuri is like, well, you see, this is what we came up with, another backup plan. We actually put Karakura town in the Soul Society, in the one, I forgot what district it was, but in this district, they're there and they're all pretty much put to sleep. So they will have no memories of this and everything. And with the help of Uehara created a fake Karakura town to be able to have the captains fight, as long as they need to take out Aizen and his men. And I was like, and which it goes to show me that I was wrong about the Soul Society characters. They ultimately did care about the safety of Orihime, because they were definitely, yes, were they afraid of her power in terms of Aizen finding out and everything? Yes, they were, but they were very much prepared for the fight, and it goes to show that they actually do care about the living world, because they moved Orihime, Ichigo, Uryu's, and Chad's home to the Soul Society for safekeeping and everything. And I'm like, okay, I was wrong about you guys. At least it seems like you guys seemingly have hearts, and you actually do give a damn to care. The thing is, Aizen pretty much knew like he's not fooled, but the thing is, he's like, well, then I guess have to kill you right here, right now, so then I can attain my goal and everything. And pretty much the thing is, Ichigo's walking off and he's like, hey, Kenpachi, you said I have to protect my home, right? But at the same time, I also have another mission, that's to protect my friend. And the arc pretty much ends off with Ichigo going off to go save Orihime one final time. But obviously, Ulquiorra is in the way to do it. And the thing is, Ulquiorra feels Ichigo's presence coming, and he's like, "Yes, Ichigo Kurosaki, come, I'm waiting for you." And that's where the episode ends off, as this continuation of this war is just going insane, man. I'm telling you, man, this arc was absolutely hype. This arc was great. One of the best arcs of Bleach. I enjoyed my time, especially coming off that crappy arc. That was the captain, the new captain, Amagai arc. I absolutely enjoyed it. I was so happy to see what was going on. And I'm like, I need more. I need more. Give me more. Give me more. I want more freaking Bleach, and I can't wait. So I will not be doing a past arc review. I know I said I'd be doing filler, but I'm not doing that shit. I'm not doing that shit. That's stuff that happens in the past. Cool, whatever. Next arc video review will be which will be the Fate Karakura town arc. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to see this arc. I cannot wait to see Ichigo versus Ulquiorra. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait. This arc had its extreme highs and extreme lows. Emotional moment that got me to cry tears of damn joy. And the fights were just flat out amazing. I know this arc was strictly fights, but this arc was amazing. Bleach, again, I just want to say before and I'll say it again. I wish I started watching Bleach a lot earlier, man, because this is a really good damn show, and I am loving this show and this series. I definitely at some point am gonna rewatch this show after I'm done watching it completely, because I just love this Bleach. I love Bleach, and now this makes me even more hyped to see the 1,000 Year Blood War arc, man. I can't wait. I can't wait. But anyways, guys, that's it. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on the Hueco Mundo arc. What are your highest points? What are the points you like in this arc? Stuff like that. What's your favorite moment? As well as hit the subscribe button. You want to get more Bleach content, as well as hit the subscribe. And when you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the notification bell icon so you're up to date with whatever I upload to the channel, whether it's more Bleach or whether it's anime content. But other than that, guys, next time I will be back with the Fate Karakura arc. Based on how long it is, I could potentially be doing a part one and a part two. I've seen on other people's reviews. I haven't watched them, but I've seen on people's thumbnails they split up this arc into two different parts. So I'm guessing important things happen, which means that I guess that might be the thing there. But yes. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna get it for. Hopefully, you guys have a great rest of your day or night or chance this video. Until then, guys, stay safe out there and have a safe day. Peace.